Boom! Rocks in the room. Hey, you want to know what's better than a hole in the head? And a little bit more on some lawsuits. Where there's smoke, there's often fire. Hot tips for the hot IAs. If a hot IA is what? A homeowner of the information age. If you are curious about how to maximize your profit and minimize your stress on your greatest investment, or you just want to know a little bit more about how to do it on your own, you're in the right place. I'm Rock, Florida, and I'm a recovering real estate broker, change agent, consumer advocate that has developed the masterclass and coaching program on real estate without agents. And I'm bringing you hot tip number 18 of 101 today. And this one's going to be a bit controversial. This is going to be a controversial episode, I guess. But this one's controversial because I don't necessarily ascribe to it. I like some good old-fashioned well water. But when knowing thy community, right? We're wrapping up our series on knowing your community and knowing what it is that your residence is supported by within that community. In tip number 18, we're going to be addressing cavities, or your city water supply. Is it fluoridated? Does it have lead? If you're in Flint, I'm sorry, that sucks. Okay, a lot of the old infrastructures and the treatment facilities in a lot of communities are antiquated and archaic. But again, back to, is your water supply fluoridated? To a lot of people, that really does matter. If it is, let folks know. Right? That's something that they're going to be ingesting. By the way, one of my little thoughts of the day was that, groceries are energy expense. But aside from that, what we put in our bodies is all of our molecular makeup. We're just a bunch of molecules running around, synapses firing up here, and people really want to know, oftentimes for more of their children's sake, if the water is fluoridated. So let them know. What are the treatment facilities like? How recently have they been updated? Know a little bit more about your community's infrastructure is the short end of the story. Get educated about just more of your community utilities and resources, and make sure that when you are packaging up your property to go, right, that hey, feel free to ask questions and comment, like, dislike, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really packing out a lot of information that people should know about their greatest investment in securing and safeguarding their home and defending their equity against all agents, foreign and domestic, right? So now we're going to transition into real estate news for real people. And I've been kind of covering a bunch of different types of lawsuits that are going on. Where there's smoke, there's often fire. Some of the lawsuits that are currently class action status against the real estate industry are those of sellers that don't understand or agree with having to offer blanket compensation for the other party's services. The other side class action are the buyers who didn't understand what they were being charged for the opportunity to be served at having come up at the end of a click funnel. Okay, there's lawsuits going on, and the one that I'm going to address today is one that has been kicked out of the court. Rheology beats back commission fraud lawsuit from investors. Now, I want to make it a point to make sure that the homeowners of the information age are aware that the real estate industry has advanced. Their ability to automate and scale the processes has gotten quite efficient and effective. But the consumer is not yet feeling a return of value or a decrease in the fees that they're paying for those scaled processes. It's really simple, folks, to sell a house. It's really only 3-step system that I've really made elementary enough that an 18-year-old in Pennsylvania sold his parents' house. Just need to understand some basic principles, universal principles and practices. But the judge says, pointing to antitrust lawsuits and a Department of Justice investigation is insufficient to show anti-competitive behavior. Real estate giant Realogy Holdings Corporation has beat back a lawsuit alleging the firm artificially inflated its stock price. Sound familiar? A lot of that going on, manipulating markets, by failing to disclose its anti-competitive practice of requiring home sellers to pay the buyer broker commissions at inflated prices. In July 2019, investor plaintiff Sasa Tanaskoviv filed a federal lawsuit seeking class action status in the U.S. District Court of New Jersey, alleging securities fraud against Realogy and a slew of its executives. The suit's allegations referred to drops in Realogy's stock after news reports concerning scrutiny of real estate commissions. At the time, 2 lawsuits alleged that the sharing of commissions between listing and buyer brokers was a conspiracy in restraint of trade in violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. The suits are ongoing. What has happened here is that we're manipulating the market, oftentimes by their own ignorance and what. And folks, I just need everybody to know, with your preferred service provider, whether it's your doctor or your dentist, back to cavities and fluoridated water, that's between you and your service professional. But question the suggestion of what their ascribed value is and what the return is that you'll be receiving from that. Because where there's lawsuits going on against the big boys in the agency field for, they fix their price. I have the right and responsibility to fix my price at something that is reasonable and will generate a return for my client, but not to fix it across the board, folks. So ask more questions. There is a lot going on within this trade suit, that it was kicked out because they're not able to nail it down to being directly antitrust. But people don't trust real estate agents explicitly for a reason. They're commissioned salespeople. So more of the real estate news for real people that I'll be bringing up in the near future is along the lines of the more employee-based model. Right? Or asking questions rather than a percentage commission. What is your flat fee, or what is your fee basis for performing this service? Ask them directly, because I can tell you, if I've only showed you one house, if you just called me up, show me one house, that's a $2,500 function to work with you for about a month and negotiate the transaction to your benefit. Okay? And there's ways that you can negotiate and leverage what's going on now. A lot of what is going on, a lot of things are having to change in the industry. Something consumers can look forward to is that, have you ever seen in real estate listings posted on Zillow or Craigslist or Realtor.com, there's one piece of information that has still yet been withheld. Since I started this in 2003, my profession of practicing real estate, a lot has changed. Back in the day, people didn't know how many days had been on the market and what the commission was. That's published in the MLS. Okay. Now that has to be openly disclosed, folks. And that is something I want, especially buyers, to be aware of, is to question that fee, that buyer's agency cooperative fee that is being assessed and attributed out of the seller's equity for the benefit of incentivizing the buyer's agency to cooperate with that listing agency. So there's a lot going on, folks, and I just want you to be informed. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out at any time. And oh, hey, I have everything you need on one sheet to sell a house. Link down below. Come and get it. All right. And also an ebook that I put together containing all 101 of these tips to how to succeed in selling your home on your own. So it's in the links below, and thank you for watching. I really pray blessings on you and your house. Make it a great day. All right. Bye-bye.